Okay, this is a short video showing how to trim off a small piece of tile. According to my layout, these two tile pieces are going to be really close or touching the wall. The grout line between this one and the next tile, which is supposed to be 1/8 of an inch, might even be slightly compromised because of this contact. So I want to nip it with a pair of nippers. Okay, now there were also some pieces of tile back here, but I actually trimmed those with a different tool. These ones, because they're just two individual pieces, I don't want to use that larger tool. It's more awkward to do that, so I'm going to try nipping it. So I'm going to hit pause and then I'll get the nippers out. Okay, well, this is the tool that I'm planning on using. Okay, this is a pair of channel lock. I might be able to read it there. They're channel lock 14810 end nipping cutting pliers. If you look on these, I bought these for cutting nails in my attic roof boards that were coming through, and I wanted to try to cut them off so I wouldn't bump my head on them when I was in the attic working in a certain section. Now, I didn't buy them for a trimming tile, and when I go to the website for these, they sell for about $30 at Home Depot, 10 inches long. They don't list trimming tile as part of their application, but honestly, when you look at these, they look almost identical to tile nibblers. So I have very little to lose here because if I destroy these tiles, I have other little backups for these that I can do. So I'm just going to try this. It's just a little experiment. So the idea is, that's the first time I used these such thing. But I'm just going to try to take about 1/8 of an inch, which is the spacing that I'm looking to get, and I'm going to try nibbling it, and then I'll hit pause and then show you how it turns out. Okay, well, it worked great on this one. It took off just about exactly what I wanted to. I just tried to do it fast. I have no technique on this. I'm going to try the same thing on the other one. Now the other one, I can't do it all in one cut, so maybe it won't work. I don't know. I'll just try it and then show you again. Okay, pause. Okay, here's what happened on my first cut. First, when I tried to apply pressure on that one section, it just wouldn't snap, even though I had 10.5 inches of leverage and I was squeezing on it very hard. I felt like, oh boy, this doesn't want to snap. So what I did was, I moved it after applying pressure. I then tried applying pressure on the other side. Then I tried it in the middle. Each time just applying pressure as hard as I could, more or less. I didn't give it a 100% effort. I just squeezed it really hard. And it didn't go. Then I went back to the original one. I said, okay, now maybe I have induced some sort of a stress line in the material. And so when I went back to the original one, I said, okay, now I'm just going to give it, full force until I'm just going to break it and see what happens. Well, yeah, it shattered. That piece went flying. I don't know where it is. But the line that it made, I don't know why, but it was favorable to me because it didn't go across. So now I'm going to try squeezing on the last piece. Maybe it'll be okay. Let me see. I'll hit pause again. Okay, it worked great. Took off that remaining piece. This, of course, is going to be hidden under a trim board. Just going to give me about 1/8 of an inch clearance for the wall. It's very time consuming to do this, for a larger mat. I'd already cut entire mats using a 4-inch porcelain blade. Okay, but I didn't want, and I could have somehow clamped this down with something in a vise, let's say, and got the blade, and I could have made a nice clean cut across that. But honestly, I was a little curious, and I wanted to see how these would compare with tile nibblers. They don't advertise carbide blades like some nibblers do. These ones just say high carbon steel. They're designed for cutting nails, so I'm sure they're fairly strong. And there are some of these tile nibblers that I think don't advertise a carbon blade. So, and the thing is, of course, I had them lying around. I didn't want to go out and buy another tool, so in this case, it worked fine. Okay, thanks.